Okay, welcome to Ielts class, and this is the 8 parts. We are going to learn listening strategies and also the writing strategies. So let's find out. So this is the listening exam, listening section 3, yeah, for academic dialogue. So in the listening section 3, you will have the academic dialogue. So what is academic dialogue? Let's find out by reading. Section 3 of the listening module is an academic dialogue. Yeah. It usually involves an academic discussion between two or three people. An academic discussion between two or three people. So later you will have two or three people discussing about the academic topics. And ini disebutnya academic dialogues. Many different task types may occur in this section, but you are often required to identify the speakers. The most important thing here, the most prominent question here to identify the speakers. Okay, attitude or opinion and or identify who the speakers are. So who the speakers are. Matching and classification tasks are common in section 3. So we are going to discuss the classification tasks. Yeah. In matching tasks, you are asked to match questions to a list of possible answers. There are usually more possible answers than questions, and you can use each answer only once. In classification, so we are only discussing in classification, yeah, task. You are given a list of possible answers. You will probably use all the answers, and you may use each answers more than once. So for the classifications here, we are going to identify the speakers, okay, in the conversations. So who says what in this case? Okay, so this is like the information provided. Okay, this is for the classifications. You know, in classification tasks, you are given a list of possible answers to a range of questions. You will probably use all the answers, and you may use each answer more than once. So this is the most important thing, Yeah, each answer more than once. So you can use one answer for more than two questions. In this case, the three possible answers are the names of the speakers in the conversations. So this is all the names of the speakers, okay, spoken in the conversation or speaking in the conversation. Before you listen, read the instructions and questions carefully. These are all very important for you, yeah, in order to make you not confused later what to do, okay, in the tasks. Again, identify the keywords in the questions and think about. Please identify the keywords and think about the synonyms or paraphrases you might hear on the recording. So in order to make it difficult, most of the test makers usually make the test, okay, more even complicated, yeah, in order to make it more difficult. So it's like leveling up. Okay, great. As you listen, keep track of who is talking and listen out for keywords. Okay, so you can track, yeah, who's talking and write down the answers as you listen. Remember, you don't have to write the names of the speakers, just the corresponding letter. Here you've got three letter A, B, C, D, Don, Ed, and Fran. Okay, then later you will have this set of questions. Okay, these sets of questions will be asking about who says what, who has been ill. What you need to do is don't write down the names of the person, but just write down the letter corresponding to the answer. For instance, A or B, yeah, or C. They've been enough. Okay, so this is all about the classification. So later you will have the task for listening to the classification. Who's speaking what? The next one. This is the academic task one. So we come back to academic task one. We recall our meeting or the writing tests or writing task one. Yeah. If you are preparing for a general training module, turn to unit. So we are not talking about general training. We're talking about academic module. Of the academic module, you are presented with visual information. In academic module, you will be provided the visual information. For instance, that can be a graph, that can be a diagram, yeah, and so on. What you need to do is to, interpret the diagrams and put it into writing, yes, which is often in the form of a graph. Okay. You are asked to describe it in a short report for a university lecturer using your own words. Okay. You need to write down a short report. So how many words are the short report? So let's find out how many words. Sometimes you are asked to describe a single graph. Other times you are asked to describe or compare more than one graph. Okay, you must write a minimum of 150 words. Remember, please count the words. As you receive only one third of your marks for task one, spend no more than one third of your time on the sections of the writing exam. 20 minutes. Okay, so let's describe these all arrows and the verbs or verb phrases or nouns and noun phrases. Let's see number one here. It's going up like this. Okay, meaning it is rise, rise, increase or go up. Yeah, here rise and increase, go up. Okay, what about this? That must be fluctuate, move up and down, a fluctuation. And what about this? Fall to a low point. It's a low point, a low. Okay, and about this, reach a peak, reach a high, or a peak or a high. Yes, this one, that must be remain stable, remain constant or level off, no change, a leveling up. Okay, then the last one must be fall, drop, deep, decrease and decline, or a fall, a drop, a dip, a decrease or a decline. Now you can actually choose randomly wherever you want to go. Yes, and then you need to play with the words themselves, because you cannot use the words again and again. It will be considered monotonous. You cannot be monotonous while writing down in the academic task for writing test in Ielts. You need to be really creative, and you need to have this very a wide range of vocabulary. Okay, especially these all directions of trend, in writing task one. Yeah. Okay, great. So that's all for today. Thank you very much for listening. Then I'll see you again next week.